to get into the game. I have two questions, and I want to do each of these individually. So I'm going to start off with the first one. This has been, like we said, an incredible year through everything, all the different hills and roadblocks and stepping stones you got to move past. Um, Question I had watching this game, two questions, but one of them, Kevin Stefanski has had an unbelievable year. I think he has really shown himself to be a great head coach in the NFL. And heading into this game, I think, there are people of other fan bases who will say otherwise, but I think for the most part, Kevin Stefanski had the coach of the year locked up. For me, coming out of this game, and I'm sure, you'll have a lot to say on this as well, maybe it's just an immediate reaction thing. But Tristan, I thought D'Amico Ryans today just absolutely coached circles around us as a unit. I'm not just saying Kevin Stefanski, because Jim Schwartz, you talked about it with Slovic. Jim Schwartz got absolutely embarrassed today. Like that, his defense got absolutely wiped the floor with, with everybody on that defense. And that's a whole different discussion. Why this Browns team plays so well defensively at home and goes on the road and shits the bed is beyond me. I've never seen anything like it. I don't understand it. But when it comes to this coach of the year thing for Kevin Stefanski, do you think that he still has it? Do you think that it's still a possibility for him? Like, how do you feel, especially going up against D'Amico Ryans? Because I think those are the only two. I think those are the only two.
Oh, 100%. Those are the two finalists for sure. If I'm not mistaken, the votes for all of that stuff is already turned in.
Okay.
Because it's technically a regular season award. So I don't think tonight changes any voting. Because I'm almost 100%. Almost 100% certain that the voting is already in for that stuff. They're just counting up the voting, getting presentations ready, getting whatever they need ready to announce that stuff. But the thing with today is, like, things went so wrong that, and we'll get into this. It started on the defensive side of the ball. This offense, first half was great. Like, I thought they were great. The last three possessions of the first half weren't great. This is something else we'll talk about, but they were put in terrible spots. And the way this team is built, the way it's constructed, we can't win like that. So I don't think, personally, it doesn't change anything for me. Because the fact that we got here, the fact that the fact that we got here and the way that we got here, both for me still say, like, yeah, Kevin's still a fantastic coach. Just change that. I still think he's coach of the year. Although I think we can also say, on the other hand, what D'Amico Ryans has done with that Texans team is absolutely fantastic. This Texans team, what CJ Stroud is doing on the offensive side of the ball is absolutely fantastic. And I felt like D'Amico, his defense in the first half, I didn't think was all that spectacular. And then kind of like towards the end of the second half, it really clicked on. And then, 2 pick sixes, like, game's done. Like, so for me, it's hard to judge. It's hard for me to judge coaching in that game when a lot of the failure for the Browns today and a lot of the success for the Texans came from individual success and individual failure. So, like, I thought that, that's not fair to say for the Texans, because they came in with a great game plan. They did. I remember talking when we first were playing the Texans. Actually, I'll get into that later. I felt like a lot of today for the Browns' failures was based on individual players not playing well. And as a result of that, um, the coaching by the Texans, they really went after players, individual players that they thought that they could pick on. And this whole year, other teams have been doing that and it hasn't worked. And they got it done today. But again, I think it was a lot of just flat out getting beat up by the guy in front of you. It's hard for me to say that coaching was a huge influence in this game when we lost by like what 4 or 5 scores, something like
Yeah.
that. So that's not coaching. That's not
Yeah.
coaching.
Yeah. I mean, I I don't know. I think when it comes to like the coach of the year thing, that's something that gets overblown by NFL fans and different fan bases more than anything. Um, but I thought it was a question for sure that I think
Yeah,
deserved to be.
yeah, it's not a terrible
Yeah, I
question.
think it deserves to be asked. Now, will it matter when it comes time for who's coach of the year? Probably not. Especially on the flip side, if those votes are already done, then who knows? But